Hi, my name is Donna Shaw, and I am the Senior Director in charge of Product Management here at Percussion Software. And I was recently asked, what makes software easy to use? What makes an application easy to use? So as a product manager, and I've been doing this for about 20 years or so, please don't do the math, this is a very interesting question. So I would start off by answering and saying, in my opinion, less is more, or use the KISS methodology. Keep it simple, and you know the rest. And what I mean by that is, if there is already an understandable, easy-to-use paradigm for being able to accomplish a task, why create something new just to make it different? So I'll give you an example. When I worked at IBM, some small company I'm sure you've heard of, years and years ago, I worked on a product called Lotus Notes, and my job as the product manager at the time was to add a calendaring capability to Notes. There wasn't one at the time. So this may seem like a pretty obvious thing, but it's amazing how many opinions people had about what the calendar should do. And what I learned over time is, one, there are a lot of established paradigms, methodologies, use cases, and scenarios around using a calendar. So after talking to many users, it became abundantly clear that there is no reason to invent something completely new for something that people do every day. They schedule meetings, schedule appointments, shows up in a calendar view for a week, a month, a year, a day, in a grid. Again, something very understandable, right? No reason to make it different if it's something that people are used to using all the time. I had this exact same experience, or similar experience, when I worked at Microsoft, and I was working on SharePoint, and we were bringing the concept of social to SharePoint. And when we thought about social, we had a very similar kind of realization. When you talk to users about what makes sense for social, the first thing they think of is Facebook. They can add a status, people can like it, people can reply to it, people can mention others, they can use hashtags. So we didn't try to invent something new just for the sake of it. Yes, we tried to be creative about what we offered, but we realized that the most important thing in keeping it easy to use and understandable for the user was just to present it in a way that was familiar to them. And so I've talked a lot about the user because the reality is, as a product manager, I am not the user. I may have my own opinion on the use cases, but the reality is I need to have the empathy for the person who I'm building it for. So my final comment on this is in thinking about what makes software easy to use or applications easy to use is walk a mile in someone else's shoes. And not only is that a great thing to consider when you're building software, but it's a great thing to consider in everyday life. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.